second and 10. Hands it off out of the gun.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
They'll set up a throw. This one left side caught by Patterson. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further.
I got to think at this point, 3rd quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even start to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Looking to throw. Brown. Quick hitter here. It's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Operating from the gun. Brown. Oh, going deep here for Taylor. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That's taken at around the 40.
A very good punt, but a 16-yard return.
And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now just east of Manhattan in Brooklyn. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further.
ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Brown on first down.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Back to throw. Brown.
And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
72 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle, it's complete. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1.
Looking to throw. Brown. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Now a give up the middle to Williams.
And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. Brown. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now Brown throwing on 3rd and long.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. They'll try and run for it. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Straight ahead, Patterson.
Fighting through, and he's got space. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for Chicago. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
2nd down and 3. Again, Patterson.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Patterson, he'll try it up the middle.
So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire 2nd half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Chicago, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.